Evening all. Still on the subject of pipework, valves and fittings. Around 1985, I had a very good koi customer who lived in or near Cardiff. I don't know exactly. Anyway, he asked me to quote him to build a new pond in his garden. I gave him the quote and he replied that he'd found a cheaper quote from somewhere else. This quote came from a company in Kent we had just finished building. And so I wasn't that concerned because the company in Kent will be buying all the equipment from my company to get the job done, and they did. I heard no more of this for a few months. Then I got a call back from my customer who said his pond was leaking. So I said, well, can you tell me how it's built? Oh, it's built properly, he said. It's proper. It's concrete, rendered, and then waterproof with glass fibre. Oh, I said that there shouldn't be a problem with that. That should be fine, you know. And then the dealer came on to me. He said, hey Waddy, this pond's leaking, and I don't know why it's leaking. He said, we've done all the correct things. Well, in my book, the correct things should go from start to finish. So I said I'd best speak to the operatives who built the pond. So a few days later, one of the operatives telephoned me, and he said, yeah, I installed the pond to your specific orders. I said, okay, well, let's start with the bottom drains. He said, well, there are two bottom drains on the pond, and we installed them to 4-inch pressure pipe. I said, that's good. I said, presumably then you put a concrete base on top of them. He said, oh, yes, yes. I said, did you first test that the drains were watertight by putting water in them first, right up to the top of the sump of the bottom drain? That serves as two separate things. First, it tells you if the water is still at the top of the bottom drain the next day, then it's perfectly watertight. The other thing is that by putting water in the drains up to the top of the sump, when you add the concrete base, the weight of the water will prevent them from floating. He said, well, no, we didn't do that, but I'm still unsure as to why the pond is leaking. I said, look, did you use the correct solvent cement to join the pipes to the fittings? He said after a while, Well, we thought they were push fit. I said, no. They need solvent cement to join them. This fuses the pipe to the fittings. I said, now there's a whole lot of work to do to resolve this problem. You must remove the fish to a temporary pond again, drain the pond completely, and then crack the base out with Kango hammers. The guy said, well, that will take weeks. I said, well, it's the only way you're going to solve the problem. Anyway, that's a story, and eventually it was sorted out. But at a great expense. Thanks for listening.